Hey guys, this is Truth About Islam, and today we're going to talk about the corruption of the Bible of Allah. Now, Muslims say to us Christians that the Bible we have today is corrupted. But little do they know, the Quran itself actually affirms the inspiration, preservation, and authority of the Bible. So, in chapter 3, verse 3, it basically says that the Torah and the Gospel were revealed by Allah. So Allah sent the Torah to Moses, and Allah sent the Injil to Jesus. Now, it says right here, He sent down the law of Moses and the Gospel of Jesus. So now, if we go to chapter 5, Surah Al Ma'idah, verse 44, it says, "It is we who revealed the law, the Moses, the Torah." Firstly, it says, "It is we." Just a little side note. Allah is one, but He says we. Muslims will say that this is royal speech, but this is funny because if Allah is royal, then the Crown Prince of Saudi and Allah is from the same family. What do you mean royal speech? Either He is one or He is we. So it says, "It was we who revealed the law to Moses, the Torah. Therein was guidance and light." It says that the Torah, which was revealed by Allah, has light and guidance. So the Torah itself contains the light of Allah. It says that it contained therein guidance and light. So Muslims say that the Torah was corrupted, which means this light that was in the Torah that was given by Allah was extinguished. The light was extinguished. That's what they say. But this goes in complete contradiction with the Quran. If we go to chapter 9, verse 32, it says, "Fain would they extinguish Allah's light with their mouths." Fain would they extinguish Allah's light with their mouths, but Allah will not allow, but that His light should be perfected. Allah will not allow them to extinguish Allah's light, but it would be perfected. Allah would perfect His word, His light. He would not let it be destroyed. He would perfect it, and He will not allow them to corrupt it. They cannot extinguish it. He would perfect it. This means if Muslims say that the Torah was corrupted, they're basically contradicting their own Quran. The Quran says the Torah contains the light of Allah, and this verse says that the light of Allah cannot be extinguished. Allah will perfect His light. So if we go back to chapter 5, verse 44, chapter 5 being Surah Al Ma'idah. So we're back to here. Um, it says, "It was we who revealed the law. Therein was guidance and light," which is a contradiction for the Muslims if they say that the Torah was corrupted, because no one can corrupt the light of Allah. "By its standard have been judged by the Jews, by the prophets who bowed, as in Islam, to Allah's will, by the rabbis and the doctors of the law, for to them was entrusted the protection of Allah's book." Did you catch that? Look what it says. It says to them, the the rabbis and doctors of the law, Allah trusted the rabbis and the doctors of the law to take care of His book. So that means if the Torah is corrupted today, it is all Allah's fault. Allah chose the wrong people to take care of His book. This means Allah is the one who corrupted His book. So when Muslims say that the Bible is corrupted, it is actually their Allah's fault who corrupted the Bible. So the Quran repeatedly states that no one can change Allah's words. For example, if we go to chapter 6, Surah Al-An'am, it's verse 115. It says, The word of thy Lord doth find its fulfillment in truth and in justice. None can change his words, for he is the one who heareth and knoweth all. So no one can change Allah's words. So if the Torah and Injil are Allah's words, how come Muslims say that they have been corrupted by the Christians and Jews? We just showed you earlier that the Torah is the light of Allah, and nobody can extinguish the light of Allah, and it is Allah who allowed for the Torah to be corrupted by entrusting the wrong people to take care of his book. So if the Torah and Injil changed, and this verse here says that none can change his words, this means it wasn't humans who changed Allah's words. It is Allah who changed them, which affirms what I said previously. Allah is Satan who corrupted his own words. And the Torah and Injil, the Muslims say they were not with the Christians and the Jews. But actually, the Quran says the exact opposite. The Quran actually says, if we go to chapter 7, Al-A'raf, chapter 7, verse 157, it says here that, again, this is a false translation. Let me look at another translation. Let's go to, the Shakir translation. There we go. Those who follow the apostle prophet, the Ummi, whom they find written down with them in the Torah and in the Injil. So the Torah and the Injil is with them, with the Christians and the Jews. It's not lost, it's with them. It's written down with them. So, and we had the Torah and the Injil hundreds of years, thousands of years for the Old Testament, hundreds of years before Muhammad for the Injil. We had those books already. And here it says that it was with them. So how can the Muslims say they have been lost? It's a complete contradiction. The Quran also tells, if we go to chapter 5, Surah Al-Ma'idah, verse 47, it says, and the followers of the Injil should have judged by what Allah revealed in it. And whoever did not judge by what Allah revealed, those are they that are the transgressors. So the Quran tells Christians to judge by the gospel, not by the Quran. Again, how can the Christians fulfill Allah's command if they do not have the Injil to judge by? Also, if we go to, for example, chapter 10, Surah Yunus, verse 94, it says, but if you, this is talking to Muhammad, but if you, Muhammad, are in doubt as to what we have revealed to you, meaning what Allah has revealed to, supposedly to Muhammad, ask those who read the book before you, meaning the Christians and the Jews. Certainly the truth has come to you from your Lord, therefore you should not be of the disputers. So when Muhammad was having doubt about his revelations, Allah told him in the Quran that he can confirm his revelations by going to the people of the book, the Jews and Christians, and make sure that his revelations lined up with their revelations. So how could this be possible if the Jews and Christians have completely lost their books and they are completely gone and they're nowhere to be found? How is that possible? So Muslims look at all of this and conclude that when the Quran affirms the inspiration, preservation, and authority of the Torah and Gospel over and over again, Allah is really trying to tell us that the Torah and Gospel have been corrupted. Apparently, Muslims are convinced that Allah says the exact opposite of what He means. But Allah isn't the only one who says the exact opposite of what He means. Muhammad also confirmed the Torah and Gospel that the Jews and Christians had during his time. So let us look at Sahih narrative in Jami' at-Tirmidhi 2653. So over here, this is Jami' at-Tirmidhi 2653 book. So this is in book reference 41, Hadith 9, English translation, volume 9, book 39, Hadith 2653. So, and then this is graded Sahih. If you look at this, it says, narrated Jubair bin Nufair from Abu ad-Darba, who said, we were with the Prophet when he raised his sight to the sky. Then he said, this is the time when knowledge is to be taken from the people, until what remains of it shall not amount to anything. So Ziyad bin Labid al-Ansari said, how will it be taken from us while we recite the Quran? By Allah we recite it, and our women and children recite it? He said, may you be bereaved of your mother, O Ziyad. I used to consider you among the fuqaha of the people of Al-Madinah. The Torah and Injil are with the Jews and Christians, but what do they avail of them? So think about what's happening here. Muhammad tells his followers that knowledge is going to be taken away from the Muslim community. His companions, Ziyad, is confused by this. He wants to know how it's possible for knowledge to depart from the Muslim community when they have the Quran and they recite the Quran. Muhammad points to the Jews and Christians and says, they still have the gospel, don't they? Notice that Muhammad's response makes no sense if he thought that the Torah and gospel had been corrupted. He only brings up the Torah and gospel to show that just because you have reliable scriptures and you teach them and you quote them, this doesn't mean you are on the right track. So Muhammad was clearly convinced that the Torah and the Gospel being read and recited by Jews and Christians in the 7th century were the inspired, preserved, and authoritative words of Allah. So we also see another example of Muhammad affirming the Torah in this narration, Sunan Abi Dawud 4449. So this is graded Hasan by Al-Albani. Hasan means good. It's one of the highest ranks you can get. So if we get this guy here, it says, narrated Abdullah ibn Umar, a group of Jews came, right here, a group of Jews came and invited the Messenger of Allah to Qaf. So he visited them in their school. So Muhammad came and he visited them in their school. They said, Abu al-Qasim, one of our men, has committed fornication with his woman, so pronounce judgment upon them. They placed a cushion for the Messenger of Allah, who sat on it and said, bring the Torah. It was then brought. He then withdrew the cushion beneath him and placed the Torah on it, saying, I believed in thee and in him who revealed thee. Let's see what's happening here. Muhammad understood the book the Jews had during his time was the Torah, as he called it the Torah. Right here, bring the Torah. Would you as a Muslim call a book the Quran if it had been completely corrupted and destroyed and completely just fabricated? Of course you wouldn't. Muhammad wanted to show the Jews he was a prophet and asked them to bring the Torah. And when they brought it to him, he placed it, he withdrew the cushion from beneath him and he placed the Torah on it, saying, I believed in thee and in him who revealed thee. So, he placed the cushion on it to show respect in front of the Jews, in order to convince the Jews to follow him, which failed, and he later ended up slaughtering them. And he took an oath on it. He took an oath on the Torah, which Muslims believe is supposedly corrupted. So your Muhammad took an oath on supposedly a corrupt Torah, and said, I believe in thee and him who revealed thee. I believe in thee, the Torah that was just placed on the cushion. He said, I believed in thee and in him who revealed thee. This means that Muslims that insist that the Torah and Gospel has been corrupted are contradicting both their God and their prophet. Welcome to Islam, the religion where you submit to your God and your prophet by believing the exact opposite of what they say.